Welcome to the Jer and Gel podcast, the ultimate destination for open and honest discussions about relationships.
We're your hosts, Jer
and Gel,
and we believe in the magic of love, the power of transparency, and the real-life roller coaster that is navigating a partnership.
So buckle up, because on this podcast, we're diving headfirst into the world of relationships with a twist of humor and a dash of insight.
I hope I don't hit my head. Get it diving head first.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome back to episode 30.
We are back, finally.
Yes. We apologize for last week. We were under the weather. We were actually both sick with COVID.
Yeah, not fun.
Not fun at all. Which topic for our episode 30 is in sickness and in health. So.
Okay. Yeah, we were going to try to record.
I think.
That's
Friday?
Well, no, Friday we were still sick. Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday
Saturday.
we started feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
We were going to try to record that day, and then we just...
No energy.
It was too hot.
Yeah.
Our recording studio was not in the temperature that we wanted to be in. We still weren't feeling great. She was coughing a lot. Her throat was hurting her.
I'm still coughing. My cough tends to linger for a while, so... I'm done with all the symptoms but the cough, and it is so hot in here, which is why I'm in my sports bra, y'all. So, just pretend like I just worked out.
And I'm wearing a very thin shirt. But anyways.
Yeah, so in sickness and in health, we got to experience that since last Tuesday, and we were home together since last Tuesday all up until... this past Thursday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, what was that? Like 9 days.
Yeah.
9 days together.
I think you went to work on Thursday. I went to work on Friday, didn't I?
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I worked from home most of that time, but it is hard to work from home when you're sick, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Like last Friday, I was like, okay, I'm only working a half day. I need to go lay down. We both had fevers. Sore throat, body aches, chills, cough, congestion, runny nose. I mean, I think Friday and Saturday were like our worst days, huh?
Yeah. And
then Sunday was finally like, whew.
Yep.
It was a lot better.
And we're feeling better now. There's just a couple like little lingering things or scratchy throat. At night, you get these coughing attacks. Well, during the day, you pretty much get them all day.
I do.
Not at certain
I'm popping
times,
cough drops like... I don't know, like what? Like how I drink water?
A lot.
Popping cough drops like Tic Tacs, like M&Ms.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't pop anything in my mouth like that. So whatever you do, that's how I was doing. That's how I am with cough drops right now.
Awesome. But we are back, and hopefully we got a good episode for you guys today. I think we do. I shouldn't say I hope we do. I know we do.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be exploring the topic of the balance of give and take.
I'm the giver.
Yeah.
He's the taker.
Oh.
So today, yes, we are going to talk about in sickness and in health and giving and taking. And let me tell you, he and I have not ever been sick at the same time. It's always either I'm sick or he's sick. And I don't even get sick that often. Once a year, if that. But he's been sick, oh my gosh, since we got together, he's been sick quite a few times. So my immune system is definitely better than his, I would say. But this is the first time we got to experience being sick together, and it was not fun. No, it didn't get fun till like we started feeling better. We're like, oh, because let me tell you, this guy can sleep all day.
When I don't feel good, yes, I can.
I can't. I don't know if it's like a woman thing, but I can't sleep.
Rest is important. Sleep is important,
Yes.
especially when you're not feeling well.
Well, it is. You know, you got to take your fluids, your vitamins. You got to make sure you're sleeping and resting. Your body needs that rest. I get that. Yeah. So I would be laying down next to him, but I couldn't sleep. So I'm on my phone, or we ended up going to the guest room because we don't believe in a TV in our bedroom. So we either watch in the living room or in the guest room. So we went to the guest room where there's a TV and a bed. So we got to lay down and sleep and binge watch all kinds of stuff. But he was asleep the whole time. And I'm over here like, I can't fall asleep. So it's nice, I guess.
And then the last 2 days we couldn't sleep at all.
We had all this rest and
we're
sleep.
All energized.
So we're all up, but still feeling kind of like not 100%, still kind of weak, you know. So we're just like, okay. So I think for me, and I mentioned this to you, is both of us being sick at the same time. One, I'm glad we don't have littles in the house, because they'd have had
to fend for themselves.
That adds a whole other like dynamic, right? We did have Carter that week. And, you know, he's 14, almost 15, so he fends for himself. But he's mostly in his room anyways, and we didn't want to get him sick. So he only came out basically to use the restroom and to get something to eat.
Yep.
And he had 2 sleepovers during that time before he had to go back with his dad. So he didn't really get exposed too much. So, and he's still not sick. So that's really good. Thank the Lord. But I found it difficult being sick at the same time because I'm a caretaker. I'm usually the caretaker.
A very good caretaker, might I add.
Thank you. And so
baby.
When we're both sick, guess who takes care of both of us? Me. Who takes care of Jeremy?
I
Me.
got that one completely wrong.
Who takes care of me? Me. That was hard. Let me tell you why. Because, first of all, I'm very independent. I don't like to be taken care of, yada, yada. Okay. But when I'm sick, it is nice, you know, for your husband to want to take care of you, even if you don't want it. Or to offer. Like maybe my feet rubbed, or what was hurting? My lower back was hurting really bad. So I had to ask him to rub it out. And he did. 24 hours later.
But you had to ask.
24 hours later, because he wasn't feeling well, and I get that. He was like, I'm going to nap. I'll get it later. And I'm like, but I'm in pain. And so I finally got it later. Oh.
Yes.
It's just hard being sick together. But I did feel like I was doing a lot, because I was making sure you were taking your vitamins. I was taking mine, that we were both getting hydrated. I even did a grocery order to the door so that we didn't have to go anywhere. And then I made homemade chicken noodle soup. And, you know, I still have to plan meals. I still have to be like, oh, we didn't eat yet. We got to eat this. And then we got to eat healthier when you're sick. You know, can't just eat all this junk. So it's just a lot of work. And I personally, that's why I say that I'm more of a giver and you're more of a taker. Not all the time. You know, not in other areas in our life. But, you know what I mean? Not in our intimate areas.
During our sickness, yes.
But when we're
true.
sick, he's definitely a taker. And he's a big baby.
Yeah, I don't like being sick.
No. And I'm just like, I still got to clean. I'm sick, and I'm like, I got to clean the house. I'm sick, I got to disinfect. I'm sick, still got to do stuff. And then I have class. I'm taking these classes in the evening, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I still had to go to class online and still take a quiz. Do you know how hard it is to take a quiz when you're sick? Very hard. Even open book, it was still difficult. I was like, dang it, I don't want to do this. I felt like crap that day. That was my worst day. But we got it done. And yeah, so I think for me, that was the hardest part. Being sick at the same time was having to manage. I felt like I had to manage it all by myself as far as getting us better.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
So that brings some overwhelmingness to the relationship.
I was overwhelmed.
there's curveballs that we get in life sometimes, and one partner does step up and do a little bit more, which she definitely did, and got us both better fairly quickly. I think we were really the hardest days were Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday we started to feel good, so there was like 3 days that we were just like dragging, and then Sunday we ended up getting up and we cleaned and did some stuff to make the house better, and but even after that we were like completely drained.
Oh yeah,
it's like all our energy just went out. But
so
but what was your question?
My question was, how does it make you feel to hear me say that I felt like I did all the work while he got to sleep peacefully every day? I literally would stare at him. He'd be asleep. I would stare at him and be like, must be nice to sleep.
I got better quicker because of it.
I will say, though, when we're not sick together, if it's just me sick, he'll be like, do you need anything? What can I get you? Like, he's more attentive. But when he's sick at the same time, forget it.
We needed a caretaker during that time.
Forget it. So now I know. That was the first experience for us in our marriage where I realized we don't take on the same roles.
Well, I think it's just how we felt, though, too, because we had fevers. Like, you would have a fever, and then I'd have a fever, and then, like, it was off and on, like, the way everything was going. But I was just drained. Like, I didn't have any energy.
No.
I didn't have any
but this is
encouragement or any motive to go and eat or do anything. I was like, I just want to sleep.
That's very true. But this is your third time getting COVID. And the first time
I should be a pro at it by now.
The first time, it was really bad for him. He did have to go to the hospital. The second time, it was also still pretty bad.
Took me to the hospital, yeah.
And we did go to. Did we go to the ER?
Yeah.
The second time, and then so this time, it wasn't as bad for you. But this was my first time, really, because I did get it once. I was tested positive in 2020, but the only symptom I had was no taste and smell for like a day and a half. Like, I didn't have any other symptom. I felt fine. But this time I had it all. And it is a different strain now, so I hear. I mean, I don't really keep up with all that COVID stuff, but my throat felt bad enough to go to the urgent care. And so I ended up going to Press Now by the house. When did I go? Last Friday. Yeah. And I went at like 1:30 in the afternoon because I was like, I want to get this over with before my 5 o'clock class. There's like 20 people waiting. There was no way I was going to be out by the time I had to be in class. So I was like, you know what? I will come back when no one's here at midnight. So I sure did drive my happy butt, well, not so happy butt, to Press Now at midnight. And I asked you, I was like, do you want to go? He's like, no. He got to stay home and sleep.
I didn't want to be there. For one thing, I know the last couple times I have gone, like, unless something's really wrong with me, like my heart rate or if I'm having a hard time breathing or anything like that, I just know they're not going to do that. So I'd rather sit there and sleep.
But you weren't going for you were going for me. You weren't going to check yourself in. You were going to support me because I wanted to check myself in. There's a difference. And he chose.
I told you I would go with you.
No, you didn't.
I would just say I'll sit in the car, though. I'm not going inside.
No, you did
yes,
not.
I did. I remember telling you.
That.
I said,
I was so out of it, I don't remember. If
you want to go, I will go with you. Because you said, do you want to go with me and go get checked? And I said, no. I said, I'll go with you, but I won't go get checked.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to go get stabbed and poked and
first of all, they don't do
prodded
that. They don't do that. The only reason why I even went was because of my throat. And I have had strep throat before, and it kind of felt like that. And I wanted to make sure I got on antibiotics right away because I'm like trying to get back to work. And so...
Me too.
Yeah, and you should have gone because your work asked you for a doctor's note, and you still had to go to the doctor.
I got it. I got my doctor's note.
But so
it
I
only
went.
Cost me $25, not 50 or 150 or whatever.
It was $50 for the copay.
See, it would have been $100 for both of us.
And
We save money.
oh my gosh. Okay. But so I went and they tested me for COVID and strep. And I told them, I was like, well, I know I have COVID. I took 3 tests at home. Like, well, let's make it official. I'm like, okay. And so thankfully, no strep. That came back negative. So that was awesome. And that's the only reason why I went, is so that I can get strep tested. But while I was there, I was only there from midnight to like 1:30 in the morning. Hour and a half, and boom, 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 bang. I got in right away and then got out. So in case y'all didn't know, you can definitely go to the 24-hour urgent cares at like midnight and nobody's there.
Hopefully.
I think it depends on the locations, of course.
Yeah.
But from my experience, Press Now is not busy. And I like to go to Press Now because they are an urgent care, but they're also an emergency room. So if it turns out that it's not an urgent care situation and it's actually more of an emergency situation, they can treat you right then and there instead of having to call an ambulance or get you to a hospital where they have an emergency room. So that's why I go to Press Now. It's a precaution thing. So anyway, so I'm sitting there in the room, binge watching the new Netflix show that I had found, which I finished by myself because, this guy slept the whole time. But it's called October Faction, I think it was called, with the vampires and all that. You don't remember, do you? Yeah, he was out. Okay. Anyways, I think it was like 10 episodes and I finished them all because it was interesting, if you're into vampires and stuff. But they're not making a second season and it was ended on a cliffhanger, so don't waste your time. But it was good for time being. But anyways, I'm sitting there watching it on my phone, waiting for them to come back to tell me my results. And, the doctor comes in and he tells me, yeah, well, you have COVID, you don't have strep. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, is there anything I can do to expedite this? Because I'd like to get back to work. Like, is there anything you can give me? He's like, no. He's like, you're just going to have to wait it out. Lots of fluids, rest, everything I already knew.
Everything I was doing.
Yeah. Everything we were doing. He's like, unless you're breathing, and, breathing was fine. We were checking our O2, all that stuff. Or O2 oxygen, in case y'all don't know that terminology. Sorry. But he did mention that there is a COVID drug that was developed in like 2021, like after the whole pandemic thing. He said 2021, 2022, and it was, it's called Paxlovid. And it's an antiviral drug that they prescribe for patients who have underlying health conditions, who have a hard time with COVID, who basically are in an emergency situation. And it's for those who are unhealthy, I guess. And apparently I'm healthy, even though my BMI is like up the roof, but I'm considered healthy. And so he wouldn't prescribe it to me to expedite the process. But that is something I didn't know because I don't keep up with the COVID stuff. But I didn't know about the drug, but I got all emotional about it. And I told you about it. Yeah. Because I was like, when he told me, I was like, oh, well, where was that in 2020? I was all snarky with him too. I was pissed, to be honest, because, my late husband died from COVID in 2020. Had this Paxlovid existed, he probably would still be here, right? A lot of people would still be here because he's not the only person that I know of that passed from COVID. But it's just so unfortunate. And I was so pissed. I'm like, oh, how nice. How nice that everyone has this drug now. Anyways, I just got emotional and I didn't let him see me cry, but the doctor left and then I started crying. And then I came back and I think the next morning I told you because you were still asleep. But it was very emotional for me and I'm driving back home and I'm crying on the way home because it's just, I don't know. It's a trigger, I guess, and I get all pissed off about it. But that was my experience last week. And so that was also hard on top of both of us being sick at the same time.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes.
So.
Well, and that was a very difficult time for you. And I mean, not that it's gone away, but, losing Chris and them now having specific medications and stuff that are available. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I get it. The medical system's always evolving, and COVID was new back then, but it still hurts, and it still pisses me off.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way. So
yeah.
But what I learned with both of us being sick at the same time is I'm just gonna have to be the one to take care of us. That's what I learned.
I don't think it'll be like that every time, baby.
Oh no!
Just this time, no, because this time around, like last time when you were sick, I wasn't sick, but I thought I did a good job at taking care of you, checking on you,
and I said that
sure,
when it's just me.
This time around with the way we were feeling, it was just
no, and I said that I was like, when it's just me, you take care of me, it's fine. But when it's both of us, there's always one that carries more of the weight. And
you did. You definitely did that.
I was so irritated.
You were the weight carrier.
I was so irritated with you.
I know.
I'm not anymore. It wasn't on
purpose, but
I know, and I understand.
I would never do it intentionally.
I know, baby. So,
because I love you.
I know,
and I want to take care of you.
And I know how your body is, different than mine.
Because I'm old
and reacts
and broken
and reacts differently than mine. So I was like, okay, he needs the rest, and I think I was.
I'm the one that passes out when I give blood.
That's true.
She's the one. She's a trooper.
That's because I'm hardcore.
Yeah.
Mhm. In sickness and in health, you agreed to that.
I did. I'm still here.
That's true. That is true.
Navigating the challenges of caring for a sick partner while maintaining your own well-being. Well, we definitely did experience that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't want to go through that again, though.
No.
I don't want to be sick at the same time again. I hate it.
No, it's not fun.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it was fun being home alone with you and getting to
cuddle.
lay down with you and cuddle and watch.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch movies much, but
no.
Almost every time we lay down and watch a movie, I was out.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was nice being together. That was a love language.
You didn't get sick of me?
No.
No?
No. I don't get sick of you. Discover how to adapt your love language and cater to your partner's changing needs.
Do you think my needs change often?
No. I don't think they change often. Not at all.
Do they change a lot?
No. You're pretty consistent on what your needs are and what you're looking for and what you want out of relationships. So and you make it known. So I don't really ever have to sit there and like try to guess about things, which is nice.
Yeah, I do tell you. I'm like,
and it's good.
We went to the state fair, so we started getting. We felt better. The New Mexico State Fair is here. It started on Thursday, and so what day was that? What day was Thursday? The 9th? No, the 7th, because today's the 9th. So the 7th it started. And so we decided to go there for dinner, have some state fair food. We're feeling better. We deserve a treat after the 9 days we had. So we go to the state fair. I was like, let's make it a date night on a Thursday night. And it was awesome because nobody goes on the first day. So it was pretty empty. Lines were minimal. And it's cheaper to go on the first day, $4 to get in instead of $15. So who wouldn't go? But we went, we ate our Indian taco, and we got a turkey leg and corn and lemonade. And I don't recommend the turkey legs or the corn, just FYI. But the Indian taco at Zena's was awesome. And so we rode the Ferris wheel and, just made it kind of like a date night. And I asked you, I was like, when was the last time you took me on a date? Do you even remember?
It'd been a while.
I was like, when? Think about what we did. What did we do on our last date? And he couldn't even remember and couldn't even think about what we did. And I sat there trying to think too. I was like, well, what did we do? Like just he and I, not a double date, not like just he and I date. right?
Well, and that's the thing. We've done a lot of stuff like
With
almost
other couples,
almost
yeah.
every weekend or every other weekend. We usually have dinner with really good friends of ours or with another couple, or
I mean, we did do.
it's constantly something happening. Like even last night, we went to dinner with my son and his wife.
Mm-hmm. And we went to that gala for your work.
Yeah,
we had to dress up all fancy.
That was kind of like a date.
I don't consider that a date.
It was more work related, but
yeah,
it was a nice date night.
Let me tell you,
ourselves.
I think I need to tell you my definition of a date, because I don't think you know. A definition.
This is not Webster's dictionary definition.
No,
this is Jally's
definition. So, a definition of a date means that it is planned. It's a planned date between you and I, where we actually have to dress up and there's an activity involved. There's food first, but there's always an activity to go with the food. Okay, and. And it's just us two. And guess what? And it's not work related. It's not with other couples. And it's intentional. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the last time we actually did that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because we did go to the Jelly Roll concert. I guess that was a planned thing, right? But that was like our first night being sick. And we didn't know we had COVID yet. But we had these tickets and we still went, even though we were a little under the weather.
Yeah, we didn't have any of the symptoms as like fever and stuff like that, but we were just
that
tired.
Evening. Yeah, that evening we did. We ended up leaving early because I was like, I need to go. We gotta go. I ended up I threw up.
Oh, because you were coughing.
Because I kept coughing. I just threw up all this like phlegm and stuff, and I don't know, clear stuff, and out the window. And oh my gosh! And then we got home, and then the next day, I was sick, and then I just told my boss, I can't come into work. And then he's like, well, you should test for COVID. I wouldn't have tested unless my boss had told me to, because apparently I think he's really cautious about that. And so I did. I took 3. They were all positive, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, great. And now I can't go back till it's negative. So that's what happened. So we did have that date at the Jelly Roll concert, which, by the way, awesome for what we, for us not feeling that well and just being there for the time that we did, because we did leave a little early. But I was like, one of the greatest concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I think that wouldn't count as a date for me, because I bought the tickets and I'm the one that planned it, because you didn't plan it. So let's add to the definition. You have to plan it.
So next time, it is my duty to plan a date night for us, which I would love to do.
Yes.
I will do that.
So I do have a video clip that I'll be posting about us at the state fair, but I haven't even put it together yet. So we did a few things. We got to see live monkeys. It was cool. But yeah, I think that we need to incorporate. I think we're starting to get comfortable. We're coming up to 1 year of marriage next month. Oh my gosh. 1 year. I feel like it flew by. Like it just, out of nowhere, we're at 1 year married. Huh.
It has gone kind of fast. But we've been living a busy life.
What do they say? So, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, we have been having fun.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying
it. So 1 year next year, and I think we're getting comfortable. We're not, we used to go on like regular dates. I feel like we should bring back either a weekly date night or a monthly date night. I don't care. Or even like bi-weekly. I don't really know how you want to do it, but I think we need to start doing that.
I think it's true.
Where we try
There's
new
no
things,
excuse not to do it.
New experiences.
A lot of times our thoughts are, well, we've already spent a lot this money, or we spent a lot of money this week, or we had to purchase this, or we have to do this, or we had to go here. But to keep things flowing in your relationship and to keep your that love alive, you have to set time to love on each other.
Yeah.
And if we don't, then that complacency will set in, and that's where a lot of things start coming up that you just, I'll do it later. I don't feel like doing it now. Whatever,
Yeah.
But I love that when we do have, a lot of times we do a lot of stuff. We're constantly doing something, but it is special to set that aside just for each other, to love on each other, to appreciate each other. So yeah, I think the last date that we had that you and I went on was when we went to Vernon's. That was the last one.
That was my birthday. That was in June.
And that was a birthday. So that wasn't even really a date, but it was a date.
That was a special occasion again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
right.
yeah.
I think you're right. Interesting.
Okay. Pick up that ball, baby.
You better hurry up with the... Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but we have been busy, just work and school and kids and getting them on their schedules, and it's just been a lot. So sometimes that
every day of the week,
everyday life gets in the way, but you have to make sure to make time for each other.
Yeah.
So if you're not going on a regular date night, make time for each other at home. Pick a movie. Stay in. We actually do that a lot. We do stay in a lot. We just finished this, I guess the newest season of this reality show called The Ultimatum with Nick Lachey and his wife, Vanessa, right? I think that's her name.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is hilarious. And I do not even like reality shows. I don't do reality shows. But this one, I was like, oh.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
And basically it's these 5 couples that go on the show. And out of the 5 couples, one of the partners issues an ultimatum to their partner. And it's an ultimatum to either get married or move on. Because they've been together for X amount of years. Like one couple was 7 years.
Yeah.
And the other one was 2 years. And one couple is ready to get married and have kids. And the other one is not. And so they issue this ultimatum. But the way it works is the couples switch partners for 3 weeks. And they're in a trial marriage with one of the other couple's partners. Because they go on dates with them first. Like the first week is they're going on dates and getting to know each other. And then they finally pick their trial marriage partner. They live together for 3 weeks in this trial marriage. And then after that, they go back to their original partner for another 3 weeks for a trial marriage with their original partner. And then after those 6 weeks are done, they go back and they have to do the choice with their original partner. And they either have to say yes to the proposal or not.
Or leave alone.
You either leave alone,
or leave with
you
a new
leave
person.
Engaged, or you leave with a new person. And I was actually surprised about this one.
Yeah.
Because they all said yes to the proposals. Oops, spoiler alert.
Well, there's more. Yeah.
There's a lot more. But it was interesting. And every time we were watching it, and we just finished it today, but I was like, are you learning something? Are you learning something? Oh, like it's just, there's a lot of topics that they talk about that I'm like, I was like, is that how you felt? Just certain things. And I even told him, I was like, please don't tell me I act like that. I'm like, he's like, no. I was like, okay, good. But open communication was definitely a big issue on the show, which we always stress about, and we always talk about, like, hey, you have to be open with your partner. Open communication is key for a successful relationship.
Yeah. It was interesting because you're watching other people's lives play out in front of you, right? The way they run the relationship, the way they communicate with each other. And a lot of the times in those relationships, communication was broken down. There wasn't communication. There wasn't openness. There wasn't transparency.
No vulnerability.
Someone was keeping something from the other, or there were certain things that wouldn't be said. It was like all assumption and stuff. So.
And there's no vulnerability either. Like I was telling him, I was like, oh, I want to have conversations like that. I want to talk like that. How come you don't share like that with me? I want you to share with me. Like, remember I was doing that today. Yeah. And he was like, we do share. We don't have issues like that. Which he made a good point. I was like, we don't have all those traumatic issues that one of the couples had. I'm like, there's nothing to be vulnerable about. I feel like we got all that out of the way.
Yeah. The things that we deal with is basically day-to-day stuff that we make decisions on, and like our biggest thing is housework. I'm not the best at housework, and I need to be better.
That's our biggest issue?
That is our biggest issue.
Cleaning is our biggest issue.
Yeah, because you feel like you have to do it all alone, even though we do things, but we don't do it to your expectation.
That's our
but
biggest.
we don't have anything else that really comes in between us where we're open about everything.
True.
We share everything that we go through on a daily basis. I don't have any issues. I don't have, like, if I was struggling at work or struggling in my walk or struggling just as a man in person, then I would probably have something to be more open about.
Would you come to me about it?
Yeah, of course. You're going to know anyways. It's not like it's something I'm going to be able to hide, so it would be like, even on days, there's like when we went to the fair the other day, she kept kind of looking at me like, "Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel good," but I wasn't as chippy as she expects me.
He wasn't as
usually
chipper
sees
and
me.
excited.
But like yesterday, was it yesterday or today?
Today. It was today when we went to go eat lunch with your parents.
Yeah, we were gonna go eat, and I guess I was being a little bit more silly or something. She's
Yeah.
like, "Well, where were you yesterday?"
Yep. I was like, "Were you just tired yesterday?"
I think so. Because I don't have, like, I don't have bad days. I don't let things run me down.
He really doesn't. I don't know how you do it.
Go through my day and be like, "Oh, my day's ruined," and then I carry it throughout the whole day. And something happens, I try to be a duck. Just let it roll off my back.
Things don't just roll off ducks' backs.
Yeah, you wet it with water, just rolls right off.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, there aren't things that her and I really have to, like, address. There's no jealousy. I trust her completely. Like, if she wants to go hang out with friends, go do something, I'm like, go. I love it.
I got invited to go out twice tonight from 2 different girlfriends.
Yeah, and here she is.
And I didn't go. Well, one didn't call me back to tell me what the plan was or what they're doing. Maybe they are not even out yet. It's only 9:00. Who knows? Or maybe they decided to go home. The other one, I was like, oh, I don't really like that group. It was like a concert. And I'm like, I don't really want to go see them. But also, we hadn't filmed yet. We hadn't had dinner. I was like, I'm going to save money, make dinner, film. Plus, I like being an old, boring married couple and staying in. I enjoy being with my partner. Like, there are couples that want to get away and they want to go do their own thing while being in a relationship. And for the most part, I will go out. I mean, if I'm in the mood and I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm going to go have fun with the girls, and I'll go. And he's like, bye. But I enjoy our time.
Yeah. No, it's been nice. I mean, that's why I say there's not much for us to really sit and have these deep conversations besides, like, maybe planning our future or talking more ahead of what we want to do in 5-10 years. But I mean, I think we already talk about that and share that too, so it's not like anything surprising. But
yeah,
I think those times will come. I think we will have times where, you know, we do need to have sit downs and we talk and we discuss things a little bit more. And but right now we don't deal with that, so
thank the Lord. I am actually really grateful that we have a pretty healthy relationship and pretty open one. And
we've never really had a big argument. We've never had a big...
No, we did have that one argument. I threw the phone in your chest. I was like... I was like...
That was just...
I was like...
More attitude, and she was frustrated.
Like, here's your phone, since you love it so much. And then he got so mad. He's like, really? Because I never talked to him like that before. But I got frustrated because he's, like, on his phone a lot. And I've communicated with him now, and I think you are doing better. But he'll be on his phone. And I'm, like, trying to talk to him, and then he'll be on his phone. And I was like, you're not even listening. And it irritates me. And so I got upset that that night. And, yeah, my attitude definitely came out.
But that lasted, what, 20 minutes?
Well... So then I went to my room, and then he stayed in the living room, but he's like, I'll be back. I'm going to go cool off or whatever. But he never even left. And then he just stayed there. Right? You stayed in the living room. And then I'm in the room and then I'm trying to clean. But I'm like mad, so I don't want to clean. And then I text him from the room. And I'm like,
are you still mad?
Are you ready to talk? Because I'm ready to talk. And he's like, I'll be there in a minute. And then he comes in the room. And then we finally lay down and we talk. And we both apologized.
I think that day it was just more emotions got high and we were
I was mad about the account because
you
you like overdrafted in the account or something, and I was trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
I was like, but there's no reason why. You only because he used the wrong account. He used the wrong account to pay for something and it should have been the other account. And so that's why the account overdrafted, because there wasn't anything in there, remember? I think it was the electric bill or something for Christian.
Yeah, probably.
And so I was so mad because he knows which account to use. And I'm like, you pay this bill literally every single month. So you should know how to do it. And I don't know. You're like, I forgot, or I don't know what you said. And I was like so mad. I was trying to explain and talk to him. And he was getting frustrated with me because of how I was talking. And so I think that was our very first real argument.
Yeah.
And it only lasted like 20 minutes. Like it was nothing.
I can top that.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not top that. Oh my gosh.
Anyways.
Yeah. So anyways.
Where are we at? Right there?
I don't know because I don't even like these notes.
So preventing burnout, constantly juggling, adding responsibilities. Do we do that often? Do you feel like we add responsibilities or stressors to our relationship? We've set clear boundaries. I think that helps prevent burnout. We don't really have.
We have set our boundaries and we discuss our needs and our wants, and I think that does help to prevent burnout. I don't feel burnt out yet. I don't even feel sick of you yet.
You're a little warm.
That's because it's hot in here. I'm over here trying to...
breaking a sweat.
Yes, I am. I'm working out without working out.
Well, I think, to prevent burnout, it does... If you're doing things that are properly... If you're communicating, we always say that. We constantly talk about communicating. But if you're sharing your expectations, not assuming, not just saying, oh, well, she should know, well, he should know. We're not mind readers. If you're open with each other, and if you're failing in a certain area, let the other person know. If you're doing that, you're not going to get burnt out. If you feel like you're carrying the weight of something more than the other person is, talk about it. Express that.
Yeah, don't be
open to it too. If you're told something, don't just be like, oh, well, I don't do that, because there's a reason that person's telling you something, because they feel pressure. So
yeah, you don't want to get burnt out in your own relationship. No. I mean, that's not fun. Like even like
I've been there. It sucks.
Getting burnt out at work because you're overworking yourself and stressing, like that's not fun either. No. Why would you want to experience that at home? Yep. So what can you do to avoid the burnout? Communicate your needs, your wants, set boundaries, and if you don't even know what those are, because there's a lot of people that don't know what they need, don't know what they want, but they're just in a relationship to be in one, or because it's comfortable or routine or whatever the reason is, but they don't even know their needs or wants. Then go find out what they are. Spend time by yourself, journal, listen to a podcast, read a book. Something.
Podcast.
Yeah, so that will help prevent burnout in your relationship. Try something new with each other. Try a new activity or something.
Yeah. We haven't been introducing new things into our relationship. I mean, lately we've kind of... And we haven't been in the same routine either. It hasn't been like a revolving door, but...
Yeah.
Now that school's back in and sports are out and we're still doing our podcast and we've got other things, now you're in school. I mean, that kind of takes up a lot of time. So our free time is not like, oh, let's go do this tonight. Oh, we should go here. We should go there. You know, we're still doing things with friends. We're still going and hanging out, which is a great thing. And it kind of prevents life from getting chaotic and, you know, getting out of control. You know, it allows us to get out, have a breather, be able to do something fun and get some laughs. And so.
Yes, for sure. What do you think about our intimacy now?
I think it could be better. And I'm talking on my end.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think it happens, like we're not being intimate as often as we would want to
Or used to? You mean intimate like physically? Because there's different types of intimacy.
Oh, I'm talking about like full on in the sheets, making the bed messy.
I'm like, what kind of intimacy are we talking about here?
The other intimacy, like touch and hanging out with each other and us being affectionate. That intimacy is good. Not that our sexual intimacy is bad, but it could be better.
By better, you mean like more often?
Yeah.
Well, we've been sick.
I know.
That didn't
Not
stop.
the whole
that didn't
last
stop,
month.
That didn't stop you, though.
One day.
I was like, okay, he's feeling better.
No, I think there could just be more, like, a lot of times, I guess the way I'm seeing it is, it's not as spontaneous as it could be, or it has been in the past, where I'd be more spontaneous with you.
Yeah, you used to be more spontaneous.
Now it's just kind of like, oh, we're busy. Or we go to somewhere and then we get back home and we're like getting ready for bed and we lay down and go to sleep.
Are you sure that's what it is? Because you were more spontaneous when we were dating than now that we're married. Yeah.
It's not anything that I'm like has turned me off. You know, so we just did these medical, what do you call it?
Blood tests.
Like blood tests.
Blood
and we
work.
got some blood work and stuff done. Part of it was I had been feeling like I was losing my drive to be not only sexually, but like even in like working out and doing things. Like when I get home, like a lot of times I'm tired. I just feel tired. Even throughout the day, while I'm at work, I'll be at work and I'm there from 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock till 10:30, 12. And then, you know, like my eyes would start getting heavy and I feel like I want to take a nap. So like my day, I feel like I was just getting drained. So I was worried that my testosterone levels and stuff were just like taking a dive, right? So we got our results back and stuff, and that's not the case. They are a little bit lower than where they want to see them, but it's not to the point to where, okay, like you've lost everything.
Right.
I think a lot of it just comes, we're just constantly moving and doing stuff and busy.
I think a lot of it is also diet. Your diet is very important, and your diet is what nourishes your body, gives you energy, and let's face it, you don't really eat that healthy.
I hadn't been. No, because we were in a challenge for
a couple months.
2 months or so, and
we
both lost like 12, 13 pounds.
You still weren't eating enough though.
Yeah. That's hard though. I had started training myself to eat slow and eat till I'm full. And then when I'm full, I'm done. Like I stop. And I still do it to this day. If I'm not hungry, I'm not eating. And with working out and with us doing this whole challenge, like I was supposed to eat more often. And I have a hard time doing that. So
yeah.
So
we're getting our health checked and doing the blood work and the necessary work that we have to, getting on the supplements we need and and stuff like that. And I think it'll be better for both of us, right?
Yeah, because health-wise, like, there were some things that came up that were like, hey, you need to really take care of this and do this. So now
Health
I'm
is
moving
wealth.
towards that way, and I think I'll start feeling better. Like, we've only been on it for not even 3 days or a week yet. So I want to see here in another 2 weeks and see what I'm feeling like, you know, with making these changes and working out more regularly and watching what we're putting in our bodies and, you know, so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good journey. I'm really excited for our health journey together.
Yeah. But I plan to change my intimacy. I'm going to level that up.
Level up, level up, level up. Like that song?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, I have no complaints. I mean, more spontaneity would be a little nice. I remember those days.
Yeah.
But I have no complaints.
No, and there's a balance. I mean, there's times that I don't initiate and you do, and then there's times you don't initiate and I do, and
seasons do change, and that happens in any relationship. And then seasons come and go.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, but we want to keep our seasons spicy.
Oh, here we go. Yes, for sure.
Anyways.
For sure, baby.
Well,
thank you guys for tuning in to Turning the Page with Jer and Jel. And we hope that you guys are staying healthy out there.
Yes.
Take your vitamins, drink your water. We hope that this episode was helpful in some way. You know, it's not easy being sick at the same time as your partner. And, you know, sometimes you just have to go through that and keep moving.
Push through that funk, even when you're not feeling well. You know, we're feeling better now. Not 100%, but, you know.
Definitely.
I think hopefully by next week we'll be back up to our normal speed and
going
strong. So.
Yes, I'm ready to get back to the gym.
Yes.
So.
Be good. Well, thank you guys. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook,
YouTube.
on YouTube. Subscribe. That helps us. That helps our podcast. If you subscribe, that helps to get our numbers up so we can get that subscription level up. We want to get up there.
Yes.
And share. You know, if this is something that you felt might have been helpful in some way, share with a friend. Let someone know. Maybe someone that's going through issues in their relationship, and maybe there's a breakdown in communication or whatever. You know, we're not by any way any experts in this, but we believe that we've found a way that helps us make decisions and get through life without making life complicated, and it works for us. And we want the same thing.
Communication is key.
Everyone else.
You're going to hear us say that a lot. Communication is key. Because it is. And we'll talk more about that deeper in other episodes. But we just want to say thank you for your support. And if you have any topic ideas that you would like to hear us talk about, please share. And we'll add them to the list. So thank you for listening to Turning the Page with
Jer
and Jel.
Bye, guys.
Bye.